Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Olajide Bello. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. And let's start from the National Assembly, where the Senate has screened and confirmed Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Doro from Plateau State was nominated last week by President Bola Tinubu.
Nomination of Dr. Bernard Mohammed Doro is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Holds degrees in pharmacy and law and master's degree in business strategy and advanced clinical practice. He is the third person appointed as minister from Plateau State under the current administration. First to be appointed was Simon Lalong, who later won a court case and proceeded to the Senate. Also appointed was Professor Nentawe Iwada, who also later vacated the ministerial seat after being appointed the national chairman of the ruling APC. In the meantime, 6 lawmakers have defected to the All Progressives Congress. This was during Thursday's plenary at the House of Representatives. 5 of the 6 lawmakers from Enugu State left the People's Democratic Party, while 1 from Plateau State dumped the Labour Party. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen reports that their defection was witnessed on the floor by the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Nentawe Iwada, and Governor Peter Amba of Enugu State. Nigeria is intensifying preparations ahead of the 30th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP30 in Brazil, with the National Council on Climate Change in partnership with the British government. The Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office conveying high-level training to strengthen the capacity of its climate negotiators. It is to better articulate the country's priorities and push for fair climate deals. Charles Alpha reports.
The Conference of Parties COP comes with its own agenda and a long list of texts ready to be negotiated by countries who are signatories to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Ensuring that national climate priorities are well negotiated and heard where it matters most requires skills, strategy and deep understanding, the kind of preparations Nigeria is undertaking here. With support from the British government and the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the National Council on Climate Change is organizing this COP30 briefing and negotiators training for representatives drawn from various MDAs and civil society organizations across Nigeria, just weeks ahead of COP30 in Belém, Brazil.
In terms of the preparations that we've made, our negotiators are ready as we focus this year for the first time on climate diplomacy, which is the key backbone to make negotiations processes work smoothly.
This is an important milestone and the UK stands ready to support Nigeria in turning these ambitious commitments into climate action.
Majikodmi said as Nigeria prepares for Belém, every word negotiated and every coalition built must translate into cleaner air, resilient communities and secured livelihoods for Nigerians. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has deployed 10,250 operatives, including tactical teams from the national headquarters and neighboring states, to provide maximum security before, during and after the Anambra governorship polls. The national spokesperson, Afolabi Babawale, in a statement reaffirms the Corps' commitment to working in synergy with the Nigeria Police and other sister agencies under the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security to ensure the safety of voters, electoral materials and officials. And time to join Adiola Komiakere in Lagos for more stories on Nationwide. Good afternoon, Adiola. Lagos for more stories on Nationwide. Good afternoon, Adiola.
As Nigeria stands at the intersection of democratic consolidation and economic transformation, the need for a more efficient, equitable and transparent tax system has been re-emphasized. Participants at the 2025 Annual Conference of the Chartered Institute of Public Management are therefore charged to champion tax reforms that will benefit both the government and the people. Susan Esu, who covered the event in Asaba Delta State, now reports.
Gathered here are public managers drawn from different agencies and government parastatals across the country. This conference, with the theme Advancing Democracy Through Strategic Tax Reforms, seeks to remind public managers of their pivotal role as architects of public policies and stewards who bridge the gap between government and the governed. President and Chairman of Council, Chartered Institute of Public Management, said the strategic and transparent tax reforms agenda ensures that citizens see their contributions translated into visible development.
This conference and its team reaffirm our mandate as custodians of good governance and public management.
Represented by the Chief Economic Advisor, Delta State Governor Sheriff Oberoweri charged members of CIPM to move beyond the rhetorics and embrace reforms that simplify tax codes.
A fair tax system not only raises revenue, but also reinforces the social contract between citizens and governments.
Making presentations on the theme of the conference, resource persons say the new tax regime, which was signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on June 26, 2025, will not only curb corruption, but build trust and expand inclusion.
It will be easy for us, the public managers, to discuss with our peers, our subordinates, and indeed advise our superiors on how all the processes involved in the 4 modules of the tax reforms are undertaken.
We are going to carry the news about that tax reform is not what we thought it was, but it's going to modernize our payment of tax.
Participants are optimistic that resolutions from the conference will help chart a new course for democratic and economic renewal in Nigeria. In Asaba, Susan Esu, NTA News.
The need for every Nigerian to support security agencies to sustain the successes recorded in addressing complex security challenges facing the country is paramount. This was stated by the Commandant of the Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management at the 2-day seminar and workshop on conflict management. Bolaji Akim completes the report.
In Nigeria, worldwide,
with the team building synergy through effective coordination of the whole of society for enhanced national security. This workshop, which also accommodates officers from other paramilitary agencies, is to equip participants with modern techniques and innovation in identifying conflict-related issues in a multicultural society like Nigeria. Commandant of the college was represented by the chief instructor, Colonel Oluranti Ogundiniyi, revealed that effective conflict resolution and management will go a long way in strengthening security architecture of the country.
We are all aware of the complex security challenges facing our nation and the sustained effort of our security agencies in addressing them. To consolidate these gains and meet the demand of contemporary conflict, it is imperative that the security actors continually update their knowledge and skills.
The workshop will, among other things, enhance the professional competence of middle and senior level officers, including personnel of other security agencies.
It's very important to have the military work alongside with other actors such as civil society, the press, other agencies to work effectively in combating insecurity and also fighting, for example, terrorism.
We're trying to build capacity and also capability so that we can collaborate, not compete, also in information sharing or gathering to be able to make sure that the country is safe.
The workshop drew participants from the Army, Navy, Police, Civil Defense and DSS. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
A national action plan for the implementation of the national policy on cash and voucher assistance in humanitarian context has been unveiled in Abuja. Ruth Aguele reports that the policy document is a decisive step in advancing Nigeria's commitment toward strengthening humanitarian responses for targeted beneficiaries.
Social safety net programs, like the federal government's conditional cash transfer, has continued to stir hope and act as a lifeline for beneficiaries across the country. To upscale interventions, the federal government has once again demonstrated commitment with the unveiling of a national policy for cash and voucher assistance in a humanitarian context. The policy document sets out strategic priorities and actionable steps that will serve as a guide for humanitarian actors towards a coordinated delivery of cash and voucher assistance to vulnerable groups.
This policy is about empowerment. It is about restoration of dignity. Its impact will not only be realized through collective action, but by our shared commitment to operationalize and institutionalize it at the sub-national level, where the realities of humanitarian response are most acute.
It institutionalized cash and voucher assistance as a central component of our national humanitarian architecture, ensuring that assistance is timely.
Is to accompany capable people, capable government, to get where they want to be, which is help people to get back their dignity and then live above the poverty line.
Especially women, children, elderly people, persons with disabilities are not left behind or exposed to risks.
Key players are expected to share their perspectives on a comprehensive roadmap for the implementation of the policy by strengthening collaboration in advancing accountability and transparency to promote inclusion and build resilience among vulnerable groups. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
The federal government says a comprehensive framework is being developed to offset the legacy debt owed power generation companies in the country and prevent future accumulation of debts in the sector. This is coming as the representative of the Federal Ministry of Power, members of both Senate and House committees on power, interact with power generation companies at a two-day summit to chart a sustainable way of addressing challenges in the generation arm of the value chain. With the theme, A Decade of Power in Progress, Driving Nigeria's Energy Transformation, stakeholders note that the gap between the current generation capacity and national demand continues to constrain economic productivity, hence the need to address issues of infrastructure deficits, tariff structures, gas supply constraints and financial sustainability as the call for collaboration. The power generation companies assure the committees of sustained engagements with government regulators and market operators to improve performance, liquidity, market transparency and payment discipline, as well as strengthened industry collaboration with gas suppliers, Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading, NBET, and the Transmission Company of Nigeria.
Is available to work together to meet the need of the people.
There must be basic access to energy. Everybody pay about the same thing. Then when you want to have comfort, you pay for additional consumption. I think you need to pay attention to efficiency, effectiveness, equity, and ethics.
The consumers out there, they should know that generation companies are generating power. But what we want from them is to assure us that when they consume, they are paying.
The summit is reflecting on 10 years of power generation under the privatized power sector in Nigeria. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and NIPRFCT chapter Abuja will not just be celebrating its 35 years of impactful existence in November this year, but is getting set to host the World Public Relations Forum 2026. Participants at this month's meeting say the event highlights NIPR's dedication to excellence and its growing influence on the global stage. Chineye Nwoye reports.
Gathered in this hall
for this month's meeting are the executive and members of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, FCT Chapter Abuja, and other PR professionals.
The theme of the conference is Leadership for Inclusive Development and Nation Branding.
FCT, from inception till date, people have contributed in making it what it is. So there is a component that says rewarding or celebrating the hands that built the FCT.
The 35th anniversary is coming on very well. I want to congratulate Haji Alami, Madam Chair, and the rest of your team members for giving us something to be cheerful about.
Key players believe that Nigeria's selection as host for the 2026 World Public Relations Forum is not just a testament to Nigeria's expanding role in international public relations and communications, but also reflects the professionalism, leadership, and commitment of NIPR in advancing public relations practices across Africa and beyond.
7 days tailoring, entertainment, there will be professional reputation talks, there will be a whole lot, seminars, enhancements, so much at the WPRF 2026.
35 years, still counting and getting strong. We need to celebrate it. But beyond celebration, we need also to bring to fore what is needed to be a PR, and more than anything else, branding Nigeria as we look forward to hosting the world.
Everybody involved in making things to happen in Nigeria should do good things that will give us good image. That's what we do in NIPR.
The meeting also featured the presentation of ID cards to fellows, as well as celebration of those born in the month of October. In Abuja, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority and its Director General Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos have been honored with merit awards by the 10th National Assembly Award Committee for Excellent Services and Professionalism in the Broadcast Industry. National Assembly correspondent Isa Muhammad reports.
The 10th National Assembly Merit Awards is the second edition organized to honor outstanding legislators, media professionals, bankers, the academia, and other individuals who impart on the humanity. Organizers say the 10th National Assembly carefully recognizes individuals on merits.
As we mark this edition, we stand reminded that progress is sustained not only by strong laws, but by men and women of character, individuals whose visible and hidden efforts help to contribute to the stability and integrity of our democracy.
It's an award with spices. It's not just an award that is like for glamorous purpose. You can see it's a way to say thank you.
Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos, who was represented by the General Manager, NTA Parliament, Abdullahi Garba Birnin Kudu, was one of the awardees for leading the best broadcasting station.
It goes to show that it's not only we the staff that recognizes the role NTA has been playing in terms of its broadcast, leading broadcast role. It goes to show you that all Nigerians appreciate what NTA is doing in terms of stabilizing the broadcast industry and in terms of deepening democracy.
Other awardees include the Minister of Human Affairs, Leader of the House of Representatives, wife of the Senate President, some House members, clerks of committees, and religious leaders for their stewardship. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
And arrangements are in top gear for the successful hosting of this year's NTA VON and FRCN service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols. Part of the arrangements is the visit to the Nigeria Christian Pilgrims Commission, where the committee, led by the Director of Programs, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, sought spiritual guidance and support. Bishop Stephen Adegbite emphasized that the Christmas season remains a time to give, reflect and pray for the progress of the coming year.
In John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. And the theme you have chosen for this year, strength in the Lord Christ is our strength. That is part of what Mr. President believes in. We can assure you of our support so that you can have a wonderful Christmas carol.
The Planning Committee also visited the National Directorate of Employment to intimate the management of the forthcoming event.
We are going to give him the maximum support. We will all follow him on that day. You will all see us, all the directors, the assistant directors, deputy directors, all of us will be there.
The 2025 NTA FRCN and Vaughan Christmas Carol and Service of 9 lessons is billed for the 7th of December. In the meantime, the new service chiefs appointed by President Bola Tinubu on the 24th of October 2025 have assumed office after a colorful military regimental ceremony at the Armed Forces Complex in Abuja following their recent confirmation. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani has the compilation of the events.
It's a new dawn at the Defense Headquarters as former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede assumes a higher strategic level as the new Chief of Defense Staff.
As I take over as the Chief of Defense Staff, I wish to reaffirm my total commitment to the defense and security of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My leadership will therefore be guided by the principles of professionalism, jointness, discipline, innovation, and accountability.
We have recorded significant gains in the fight against terrorism, insurgency, and other forms of criminality, but the work is not yet finished. I leave the state fulfilled, grateful, and filled with optimism for our beloved country. I love my country so dearly, and I want this country to succeed. I might be retiring from active service, but my commitment to Nigeria remains unshakable.
Similarly, Major General Waidi Shaibu assumes office as the 25th Chief of Army Staff in a brief symbolic ceremony at the Nigerian Army Headquarters.
I will do everything to advance the transformation of the Nigerian Army into a professional, innovative, and formidable force that is agile, adaptable, combat resilience, capable of decisively discharging its constitutional responsibility within a joint and multi-agency environment.
The Nigerian Navy also bids bon voyage to its 22nd Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, and welcomes its new leader, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, in a changeover ceremony held at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja. The new chief promises a more disciplined, more synergistic and tech-driven Navy.
My tenure will be guided by a clear and actionable strategic approach, focusing on strengthening maritime security with relevant security agencies in the conduct of operations towards tackling the pervasive security threats confronting our dear nation.
In the last 2 years and 5 months of my command of the Nigerian Navy, the Navy made significant strides in its operational activities. We have preserved the sanctity of our maritime space, ensuring there was no piracy incident under my watch.
Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports that the leadership of the NAF passes from one guardian of the sky, the 22nd Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, to the next, Air Vice Marshal Sunday Aneke, with renewed vigor to deploy air power with precision and less collateral damage.
For titles are transient, applause is momentary, and seasons inevitably change. But honor endures, and history will be kind to those who lead with character, courage, and conviction.
I wish to assure all officers and airmen that I shall continue from where my predecessors stopped in the quest to attain the required posture that will guarantee
Nigeria the security and stability necessary for development and peaceful coexistence.
As the new chiefs take on the mantle of leadership, it is expected that they will take charge and steer the armed forces of Nigeria to greater heights. Naja'at Tijani, NTA News.
Now let's join Kemi Oshin in Ibadan for stories making the round from that zone. Kemi, take it up from here.
Thank you, Olajide, and it's a warm welcome to Ibadan. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC in Oyo State, has intensified efforts to sensitize residents on the importance of participating in the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise. The Commission is urging eligible citizens who have not registered to take advantage of the opportunity and obtain their permanent voter cards. Oyeyinka Omole, who participated in the Commission's roadshow within Ibadan Metropolis, has the details.
In a bid to reach unregistered voters across Oyo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, launched a sensitization campaign aimed at encouraging citizens to register before the end of the first phase of the ongoing nationwide continuous voter registration exercise. Led by the Administrative Secretary, Rosemary Alaba, a team of INEC officials took the enlightenment drive to major markets and strategic areas within the Ibadan metropolis, engaging residents directly. During the exercise, members of the public took advantage of the outreach to seek clarification on registration procedures and how to update their voter information.
The purpose of this is just to create awareness for the general populace. Why those that have one issue or the other in the last election that cannot use the permanent voters card to vote can easily come out to rectify the fault. Or those that wanted to transfer from one polling unit to another polling unit, from one area to another area, from one local government to another local, or from one state to another state. While we are doing this, people troop out, listen to us, they ask us questions.
The officials urged new voters aged 18 and above, as well as those who wish to transfer voting rights, replace lost or damaged cards, or correct errors on their permanent voter cards, to visit INEC offices in their respective local government areas. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
Now, in today's fast-paced work, many people spend long hours sitting at desk or using computers. Experts are, however, emphasizing the importance of ergonomics, which is a science that focuses on creating a safe and comfortable workplace to improve well-being and productivity. This was the focus of the public lecture delivered by Professor Kazim Adebiyi at the University of Ibadan. Lukman Hassan tells us more.
Ergonomics to the rescue. Professor Kazim Adebiyi said that the practice of ergonomics is an important part of managing one's health and safety, and when applied consistently, one will be able to build healthier habits, reduce fatigue, and enhance quality of life, as medicine cures the disease, but ergonomic cures the cause.
We will not be relying so much on drugs. And we know if you just comply with simple principle of ergonomics, some of the health issues we are confronted with will be a thing of the past.
It was also stated that ergonomics plays a vital role in the management of human health and safety and should be practiced accordingly.
Manage your health without using drugs. Some of the things we have taken for granted have been shown to us. Even our sitting habit can cause some problems.
We go towards the path of prevention, rather than breaking down and looking for drugs. Drugs has its adverse effects.
It was further agreed that ergonomics focuses on reducing strain, fatigue, and the risk of injury by adapting tools, equipment, and work environment to human capabilities and limitations. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Thank you for joining us. This is Medigri. Preparatory to the 2020 fiscal year, Borno State Ministry of Budget and Planning organized a 2026 budget town hall meeting with the theme From Recovery to Prosperity, Accelerating Sustainable Growth and Building a Self-Reliant Borno. Umar Jumbarima reports.
The event brought together all relevant stakeholders to chart a new course in budget planning and implementation, identifying key contributions, especially from the grassroots, as a way of ensuring a smooth and result-oriented budgeting process. Secretary to the State Government Bukar Tijani noted that previous budgets under the leadership of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum have earned commendations and awards beyond Nigeria's borders, emphasizing that it goes beyond just budgeting, but a reflection of milestone achievements that continue to elevate Borno State to greater heights.
This administration has championed quite a number and a lot of what an administration should do.
Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Babagana Mustafa Malambi, stated that in the past years, the Borno State annual budget focused solely on recovery, disclosing a shift in the forthcoming 2026 budget with emphasis on prosperity, noting that despite ongoing challenges, Borno State continues to record notable achievements in recovery and development.
We have achieved massive milestones in reconstruction, voluntary resettlement, and revitalization of local governance.
Chairman House Committee on Budget and Appropriation, alongside Commissioner for Finance, assured that every kobo will be accounted for and utilized as intended, reaffirming their commitment to making the 2026 budget a landmark tool for reviving the state's economy and positioning Borno State to compete on a global scale. In Maiduguri, Umar Jimbarima, NTA News.
The Police College Maiduguri is partnering with the Borno State Information and Communication Technology Development Agency, BIGDA, to combat cybercrime and boost digital literacy. Fatima Isa reports that the collaboration aims to strengthen synergy between security agencies and tech institutions in tackling cyber threat and promoting public awareness on digital safety.
Cybercrime remains a growing threat globally, evolving with technology and impacting individuals, businesses, and governments. To address this, the Police College Maiduguri is partnering with Borno State ICT Development Agency to strengthen capacity through training and innovation.
The next line of action is to constitute a kind of technical working group between Nigerian Police Training College and then BIGDA to sit down and then proper modality of, sit part and strong collaboration.
The agency will assist us to train these young men and women. And if they become computer literate, if they become digital police, we are good to go.
Commandant AIG Muazu Usman Muhammad also met with the Commissioner for Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Lawan Abu Wakilbe, to seek support in addressing challenges facing students of the college. The Commissioner pledged the ministry's support, confirming that RUWASA has been directed to begin key intervention projects at the institution. In Maiduguri, Fatima Isa, NTA News.
Those are the trending stories from here. Nationwide continues with Olajide Bello in Abuja. Olajide is back to you.
Many thanks, Ladidi. And moving on. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, in collaboration with a non-government organization, has launched a financial literacy program initiative tagged Empower Her. The empowerment program aims at building the financial capacity of more than 250,000 women on board the program through training in financial, digital and entrepreneurial skills. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim during the launch emphasized the federal government's commitment to advance women's economic growth to ensure women's inclusive participation in national development. The Women Affairs Minister said with Empower Her initiative, the present administration is laying the foundation for a financially literate and economically empowered generation of Nigerian women who will transform families, communities and the nation. The founder of the NGO, Kathleen Ehimo, described the program as a national movement to ensure that women from both the formal and informal sectors acquire the knowledge and confidence to grow wealth, grow businesses and shape their own destiny. As a follow-up to Nigeria's commitment at the 2025 Global Disability Summit in Berlin, Germany, The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in collaboration with key government stakeholders and partners, have put together the 2025 Nigeria Disability Summit to upscale on these commitments and identify actionable strategies for inclusive policies that will enhance the lives of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Gufan Shaji Ugwai reports.
The 2025 Nigerian National Disability Summit is a crucial step in accessing progress, confronting challenges and strengthening collective accountability.
From commitments to action. In other words, the era of sweet talks has passed.
Through collaboration with state government and development partners, we are expanding access to assistive devices and integrating disability data into national planning and national social register.
In Sight Savers, we believe in a world where no one goes blind.
And creating opportunities that empower persons with disabilities to contribute their talents to our shared future.
Highlights of the summit is the launch of the National Forum of Disability Commissions and Agencies, a coordinating platform designed to strengthen intergovernmental collaboration and ensure effective implementation of disability rights nationwide.
I want to see individuals begin to showcase themselves as benefactor of inclusion.
The women have additional issues of gender-based violence, so many things, maternal care, a lot of issues that we need to pay extra attention to.
The theme for this year's 2025 Disability Summit is Inclusive Nigeria, empowering persons with disabilities for sustainable development. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ogwanyi, NTA News.
Actors and critical stakeholders in the transport sector are set to draw up a workable roadmap to drive the realization of the $1 trillion economy by 2026 as projected by the Tinubu administration. Transport correspondent Ladibala reports that the Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria is leading the conversation.
Transportation is not only considered one of the catalysts for development, but serves as a veritable lifeline for economic growth and social cohesion. Concerted efforts are being galvanized by actors and players in the transport sector to redefine the viable entity beyond movement, but an enabler of development. From the recent International Railway Conference is another roundtable underway on transport by the Chartered Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria.
The $1 trillion economy that we are talking about, transportation, if you ask me, is the heart to get this done. Yes, our production capacity has increased from the creek. We are now around 2 billion barrels a day. Yes, that is good, but for the 2 billion to now circulate, you need transportation.
Until we are one, that is when we can move the needle in the transport sector.
If you have a sector that is well organized and governed, and there is a principle, a practice, a way about how you use the road first. So all of these issues have to do with attitudinal content of the drivers.
Stakeholders are optimistic of the favorable outcomes that will birth an integrated transport system within the confines of global best practices. In Abuja, Ladibala, NTA News.
The National Board for Technical Education is taking steps to formalize and standardize the beauty, wellness and care industry in line with global best practices to ensure the practitioners receive proper training and certification. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
The beauty, wellness and care industry remains one of Nigeria's most vibrant sectors, providing employment to thousands across the country. But many of the practitioners still operate without formal training or certification, a gap that limits the sector's true potential to drive national growth. To bridge this gap, the National Board for Technical Education, MBTE, is taking decisive steps to formalize and standardize the industry in line with global best practices. The newly inaugurated Sector Skill Council, Professor Bugaja explains that, will be responsible for driving the standard, promoting skills development, and aligning the sector's operations with MBT's broader mission.
So this is the Sector Skill Council that is going to drive the development of this subsector so that it can contribute more to GDP, so that the informal skilled workers in this industry can be properly certified, so that standards can be introduced, quality assurance will be entrenched, and those with the relevant skills will be given appropriate certification. So we look forward to a very formidable outcome from this subsector.
It is definitely an enormous task that has been placed upon my shoulders and all the new nominee shoulders, but we are definitely committed to ensuring that this council will make a huge difference in the beauty, wellness and care sector in Nigeria.
It will change the industry and the way people view the industry, because we believe this as a big industry that will contribute immensely to the growth of the nation.
With this inauguration, the Council for Beauty, Wellness and Care is set to open new doors, ensuring practitioners receive proper training and certification. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar-Jingi, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu says the future of Nigeria's livestock industry is promising and will soon become self-sufficient in dairy and other livestock byproducts. The president stated this at the 2025 Ala Dana Open Day held in Ala Farms, Damal, Kaduna State. Yusuf Jika reports.
The Ala Dano Open Day showcases the strides made by Ala Foods in Nigeria's dairy sector, sharing knowledge and fostering collaboration in the industry. Minister of Livestock Development, who stood in for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the event, said the renewed hope agenda remains a game changer towards food security, job creation, economic diversification, and priority to public-private participation. He lauded Allah for becoming Nigeria's dairy hub, acknowledging the Danish government sponsorship of 2 dairy development projects on green and productive dairy, improving climate and human-related activities.
With our vast land, youthful population, and the determination of our government, Nigeria can and will become self-sufficient in dairy and other livestock products. We will not relent until every Nigerian has access to safe, affordable, and nutritious food produced within our borders.
Together with Ala Farms and other important stakeholders, we can put Kaduna State on the map among the leading producers of milk, not only in Nigeria but also in West Africa.
Our goal is simple: pass on the knowledge, build capacity for everyone so we can have increased yield in this country. And
highlight of the event was the unveiling of Nigeria's Dairy Center of Excellence. In Kaduna, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And let's join our sport desk for sport update.
The Sports Writers Association of Nigeria has kicked off its 60th Diamond Jubilee celebration at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. Members and state chairmen convened for seminars and discussions focused on shaping the future of sports journalism in Nigeria. Participants expressed excitement about the milestone, describing it as a time to reflect on one's achievements and chart new directions for the profession.
We hardly ever get the respect or reward we deserve, but for once, they are being recognized, for the job they've done. It's one that is bringing us together.
Elsewhere, in preparation for the 2026 World Cup playoffs, the Nigerian Football Federation has announced that the Super Eagles camp for the 2026 World Cup African playoffs will commence on Sunday, November 9 in Rabat, Morocco. Nigeria, Gabon, DR Congo and Cameroon will compete for the Lone African Sport on November 13 and 16, with the victor advancing to the Intercontinental Playoffs in Mexico by March 2026. The Super Eagles will face Gabon in the playoffs, and the winner will take on the victor of the other semi-final match between Cameroon and DR Congo in the semi-final. Meanwhile, in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, Premier League leaders Arsenal are set to face Crystal Palace after Oliver Glasner's team eliminated Liverpool in the 4th round. Palace stomped the league champions 3-0 as Arne Slot's heavily rotated side found themselves outplayed at Anfield. In what was Liverpool's 6th defeat in 7 games, League One Cardiff City, the only side left in the competition from outside the Premier League, will host Chelsea. Manchester City will entertain Brentford, while Newcastle United will take on Fulham at St James's Park. The quarter-final fixtures are set to take place during the week, commencing Monday 15 December with most matches kicking off on the evening of Tuesday 16 December or Wednesday 17 December. For Sports Update, Bright Ebuchu, NTA News.
Well, that's it nationwide. Many thanks for being a part of it. I'm Olajide Bello.